Welcome to part 1 of my Richie Tozier series. So let us begin. Your name is listener Kasprat. You are Eddie Kasprat's brother, and you both are around the same age. You're a year older than Eddie, and your mom is a lot more strict with you, which is saying a lot, considering how strict she is with Eddie. However, there's a reason she's more strict with you. You are the problem child. You like to sneak out, cause mischief. You don't have any of the physical problems Eddie has, but she tried to convince you did when you were younger. That's why she had Eddie. She needed someone to baby. You and Eddie have always been close, and when you moved to, I blanked. When you moved to the town, you immediately started getting picked on. You more so, just because you were more eccentric. You had your own little style, your own way of talking, and people loved to pick on you for it. Eddie kind of faded into the background, and you all met the Losers Club. So, a little bit more information. You're a little bit taller than Richie, and you are gay. Just straight up, you're gay. You like boys. Especially a certain black-haired himbo. So let's get this started. I will be voicing everybody. I'll give you a little bit of who I'm voicing, but let's get into it. This is going to be a bit more narrative because it is a series. So, let us begin. You wake up at about 6:30. It's a Monday and you already feel like garbage. You are not a morning person by any means. However, you were even less of a morning person on school days. You can hear your alarm clock buzzing, so you reach a groggy arm over and smack it off. Eddie, who was in the bunk below you, proceeded to scold you for smacking your alarm clock. Come on, listener. Literally, why do you have to always smack it? You're gonna break it one of these days, and then we're gonna wake up late, and you are so annoying. You roll your eyes at him and get out of bed. You both get dressed, and Eddie makes sure that you have everything. Alright, you have your bag, right? Yep. You have your books, calculator? Yep. Yes, I have my inhaler. I never leave the house without it. That is everything. You sure you've got everything? Okay. Jeez. No need to be so pessimistic. Come on, it's your first day here, and you get to meet the losers. Well, that's what we like to call ourselves. It was your first day at school. Eddie had been going to this school for about 3 years now, and you finally moved in from your dad's. Your mom really didn't like the fact that she gained custody of you, but your dad did just lose his house. So there was no other place you could go. You pulled your shoes on, which were, of course, your usual Converse, and you tucked your coat on. You pulled your bag up over your shoulder and left the bedroom. While you walked down the stairs, you noticed your mom staring at you. This is Kay. Really, kid? You are really going out just like that? Ugh. Why do I let you choose your clothes? Fine. Breakfast is on the table. Bye. You very quickly get up and pick up your breakfast, which happened to be a singular slice of toast. A horrible meal. But you didn't really care. You picked up your toast and left the room, waiting on the porch for Eddie. Soon enough, he came hobbling out with his fruit salad, and you both got on your bikes. You pedaled down to school, and while you were pedaling, you encountered a group of boys who gave you and Eddie a glare. Eddie seemed very nerved. He seemed very skittish around these guys, and one of them immediately came up in front of your bikes. Eddie pulled to a stop almost immediately, so you did too, and kicked your bike's leg out and stepped off it. You glanced down to the kid. You were a little bit taller than him, but he didn't care. He looks up at you and glares, spitting at your feet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Looks like we have a new... What is it? New fairy boy. Huh. Oh, you don't know who I am. It's like little mama's boy didn't introduce me very well, did he? I'm Henry Bowers. The moment he introduced himself, you realized who he was. He was the guy who had been tormenting your little brother, and that did not stand with you. You grabbed your bag and handed it to Eddie, who very quickly took it. He looked confused before you gave him a very quick, very firm smash punch to his jaw. He stumbled back, a bit flabbergasted by your action, and he just glared at you. Oh, you are so dead, Casperk. You and your little brother, too. I'm gonna kill you. Him and his friends walk away, and you and Eddie continue to bike to school. You get there and you park your bikes, chain them up, when a group of kids comes running up. One of them, there's two of them that you recognize. One of them has been Bill Denborough, which is one of Eddie's best friends. The other is a kid named Stanley Uris. You also recognize him from tutoring study sessions with him and Eddie. The rest of the kids you didn't really recognize, but you knew their voices, not their faces. You could easily put a name to Beth, the only girl in the group, which she very gratefully smiled at you, and you smiled back. Then there was the kid who everybody called Haystack. His name was Ben, and you remembered him too. You glanced around the group more. There was the other boy, Mike. You knew him. And, of course, you knew Eddie. But there was another kid that you didn't recognize, but he sounded so familiar. Hey, Eddie Spaghetti. It's been a while, man. Where you been? Took you long enough. He reached up and ruffled Eddie's hair, to which Eddie begrudgingly shoved him off. Don't call me that, Rich. I hate it when you do that. So this was the infamous Richie Trashmouth Tozier. You heard a lot about him from Eddie, and you grew quite fond of his antics, even just hearing him from your bedroom. He glanced at you, and he looked almost flustered, in a sense, before he turned and whispered something to Eddie, to which Eddie punched him in the arm. Hey, I'm Richie. Richie Tozier. I'm sure you know me. I'm pretty sure Eds would have mentioned me once or twice. You nod and shake his hand. Oh, you do know me? Oh, thank God I don't have to introduce myself. So I can fully introduce you to everybody. This is Bill, Stan, Mike. That is Ben over there. This is Bev. And, yeah, we're the losers. Well, we call ourselves the losers. We're just kind of the kids that don't fit in. You raise your eyebrows and smile a bit, to which the whole group realizes who you really are. Whoa, wait, you're listener Casper. You're real? And Beverly speaks up. You're actually a person? I thought Eddie was just lying about having a badass older brother. The boy, Bill, spoke up next. You're telling me you're a real person? That's awesome. You pick up on a stutter, and it clicks, knowing that he was the kid with the stutter. Stanley just kind of stares at you for a second before he smiles, and you smile back. You and the group walk inside, and they all talk amongst themselves. You get to class, and you are seated right in front of Henry Bowers. He glares at you while you sit down, and you can feel his eyes bury into the back of your head. Halfway through the class, you're trying to write your notes, and you feel him kick your chair. You ignore it the first few times before he hooks his ankle around it and tugs. You fall out of your chair and hit your head on the desk. face first into your desk. Your nose began to bleed, and you sat up and glared at him, and you began to yell at him. Richie stands up, and he immediately takes your side. You know he was the kid that usually stood up with losers, and you were appreciative of him. What's your problem, man? I mean, what's your problem, man? Listener didn't do anything. You're an asshole. He spat towards Henry, and Henry Bowers stood up, to which the teacher immediately stood up from his desk. Casper, Bowers, Tozier, office, now. He took notice of your bloody nose, and then everything clicked to the teacher. You know what? No. Bowers, office, Tozier, can you help Casper to the infirmary, please? Richie nods and very carefully helps you out of your seat. You hold your hand under your nose to catch the blood as you all walk out. Henry Bowers glares at you as you turn the corner away from him, and you make your way down to the infirmary. While you sit and wait for your nose to stop bleeding, you notice Richie nervously fiddling with the bottom of his shirt. He looks concerned, so you pipe up. Huh? No, I'm fine, listener. It's nothing, man. Just, oh, we're in for it bad. You tilt your head, a bit confused. Well, Henry Bowers never lets anybody off the hook. I mean, never. I mean, you've seen what he's tried to do to Eddie. You realize what he means, and you exhale. You reassure him that he won't touch Richie, or the other losers while you're around. And he gives you a very thankful stare, to which you smile back at him. He kinda gives you a nervous look before he sits back down in his chair and waits for your nose to stop bleeding. Soon enough, Eddie comes into the infirmary. It was the second bell, which meant that it was the passing period. Eddie came bursting in, and he immediately began to scold you. What did you do this time, listener? I can't go 5 minutes without being near you, or you get yourself into trouble. I can't believe you. Richie immediately pipes up. Hey, he didn't do anything this time, Eds. It was Bowers, man. He pulled Listener's chair out from underneath him, and the Listener hit his head. Eddie glanced back at you and immediately began apologizing. Oh my god. Wait, Listener, I'm so sorry. I thought you got into another fight. You shut him up and start laughing. Eddie and Richie glance at each other, and Eddie starts laughing too. Richie looks confused, but he's in good spirits. You all get up and exit the infirmary after about 15 minutes of sitting in there. Your nose has finally stopped bleeding. After the rest of the school day, which was very uneventful, you walk with the other losers to the parking lot, where one of them, Bill Denborough, pipes up. Hey, do you guys want to go to the cliffside tomorrow? Or, not tomorrow, sorry guys, tonight, after dark, and go swimming under the moonlight. It's supposed to be a full moon, and I think it would be fun. You and Eddie glance at each other. You knew Eddie would get into a lot of shit. So, you both grin. We'll be there, Eddie says, with a very sly grin. Richie beams, and he goes, yeah, I'll be there too. Everybody agrees to meet up, and you all set out in your separate ways. Eddie looks at you, and You both come up with your plan to sneak out that night. You agree that as soon as your mom went to the bathroom, you'd sneak sleeping pills into the soup she was making. You would avoid eating any of it. You would serve yourselves soup while she went to the bathroom, like you usually would, but you would put sleeping pills in her soup, making sure that she fell asleep and stayed asleep. You both fulfilled your plan, and she was out on the couch. So you packed up your things and set out for the cliffside. Okay, that's going to be the end of part 1 of the Richie Tozier X listener series. I hope you enjoyed. These are definitely going to be longer videos. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this new type of audio. I like the more narrative stuff, but let me know. Yeah. Next part will be you and Richie having a moment of gay panic at the cliffside. So I will have that out either later this week or next week. So, bye-bye.